If you're wondering why you should watch this video, I'll tell you that it's better to learn from other people's mistakes than to make your own. As errors in business are costly and discouraging, avoiding them should be a top concern for any business owner. These are just a handful of the emotions a business owner experiences when his or her company begins to decline. There comes a time when you begin to question everything, such as maybe I shouldn't have invested money there. Perhaps I should not have reduced the marketing budget. However, it is now too late to repair such issues. Experts recommend that, if your business fails, you take some time to analyze what went wrong and be brutally honest with yourself. I explain why one should not wait until it is too late. If you are aware of what you are doing incorrectly, you can rectify the issue promptly. In addition, we are frequently incapable of hitting the mark. In such a circumstance, we establish a new firm and repeat the same mistakes, so diminishing the odds of success for the new business as well. This video focuses mostly on the causes of business failure. Once you discover how to overcome these hurdles, business failure will no longer be a concern.
Others claim that there are multiple types of organizational death, such as mergers and acquisitions. Some believe that a corporate failure only occurs when a company files for bankruptcy protection. Others contend that a company fails when it fails to fulfill its commitments to the organization's stakeholders, including employees, suppliers, consumers, and owners. Theoretically, the entrepreneurial process is defined as the set of activities through which innovations alter current combinations of production elements. Market efficiencies and technology processes are the most commonly known sources of inspiration for entrepreneurs. From this perspective, a business failure is the conclusion of an entrepreneurial endeavor that fell short of its objectives. The business life cycle illustrates the existence of a business's lifespan. So what are the consequences if you fail in business? You feel shame, embarrassment, guilt, fear, sadness.
Untracked business. One of the causes for the failure of small businesses is that you do not effectively monitor business operations. Financial performance, gross margin, net margin, revenue from sales, business cost recovery, return on assets, current ratio, quick ratio, business growth, revenue, sales trends, customers tracking, customer satisfaction, operations, production costs, capacity utilization, safety standards, assets indicators, and quality concerns. If one KPI is missing, the business will eventually decline.
Business without a system. The same is true of business. It should have a way to do things. Every successful business owner has a plan for how she runs her business. If you don't already have one, you should make one. Without a good system, every business will fail at some point.
Lack of predictability of schedule. Have you thought about how you'll run your business and make plans? Yes. No matter what the documentation process is, every business should have a plan for the future. One reason why small businesses fail is that they don't have a set schedule.
Wrong pricing strategy. Competitors will retaliate if you raise your rates. If you're a smart company, you know enough about your rivals to anticipate and plan for their replies. This prevents pricing wars that may wreak havoc on an entire industry's profitability. Any big decrease in your pricing, which might lead to an increase in volume, will prompt a response from your rivals.
Lacking protocols. Every activity connected to your endeavor needs to work toward accomplishing a certain objective. Who should be doing what is something that has to be determined in advance. Both the action and the strategy need to follow one another in order. Maintaining a process for everything gives you the power on achieving the goal you have set for yourself. Learn about the factors that undermine the success of businesses and the steps you may take to eliminate them.
No deadlines. Your business needs to establish a time limit for the completion of every task. Time is precious. You are not in a position to throw away any of your precious time at this point. Put every second of your life to good use. It would be a solid indicator to dream and accomplish large if you can meet the deadlines on the smaller jobs.
Failing in achieving objectives. Every single section of your business has to have a set of personal objectives. Examine the targets that have been established for this week in the following areas of your company's operations: marketing, accounts, human resources, product development, training, production, sales, web, research, public relations, information technology, and planning. Is it possible to do these? Are these objectives met by your various business units?
Reacting and defensive operational strategy. Lack of acquiring the skill of taking criticism. Demonstrate that you are receptive to other people's opinions and suggestions. It is essential to get feedback to improve your company's ideas. Opinions are essential to the process of progress. Outbursts are sometimes seen as a component of the response for certain businesses because they are unable to tolerate criticism. It is not fair. Educate yourself on how to create a negotiating strategy that will be effective for your business.
Prioritization deficit. Some business people can't tell what's important and what's not. They always fall behind, and when they finally quit, they say it was just their luck.
Vision and goals are not clear. The reason to fail was that you were not good at setting goals. You may be confused about what you wanted. You were a confused person. This important aspect of that hurts business growth.
No interest in learning. As a business person, you should try to pick up lessons from the world around you. Sometimes you have to learn from other people, and sometimes you have to learn by making mistakes. No matter what, try to learn. If you keep learning, your expertise will grow, and you'll gain experience. Learning is the only way to change yourself. And you can always learn more.
Financial uncertainty. When you are just starting, it can be hard for small businesses to get the money you need to bring a new product to market, fund an expansion, or pay for marketing costs that keep coming up. Angel investors, venture capitalists, and traditional bank loans are all ways for small businesses to get money. However, not every business has the steady income or growth rate needed to get major funding from these sources. Small businesses have to close their doors when they can't get enough money to pay for big projects or keep their business running.
Weak governance. Smart business owners hire other people to do the things they aren't good at or don't have enough time to do well. One of the first things a small business needs to keep running well into the future is a strong management team. The owners of a business should feel good about how much each manager knows about how the business works, its current and future employees, and its products or services.
Poor execution of business planning. Before starting a business, you have to avoid the pitfalls of business plans. You should know a lot about the industry and the competition. The business model and infrastructure of a company should be set up long before any products or services are offered to customers, and realistic projections of possible revenue streams should be made a long time in advance. To run a long-term successful business, you need to make and stick to a business plan.
Mistakes in marketing. In the same way, a marketing campaign needs to succeed to have realistic projections about how many of the target audience will be reached and how many of them will buy. Businesses that don't understand these parts of good marketing strategies are more likely to fail than those that take the time to make and run cost-effective successful.
Issues with a business plan. A good business starts with a solid and realistic business plan. In the plan, you'll write down goals for your business that are attainable, explain how your business can reach those goals, and list possible problems and their solutions. Through research and surveys, the plan will find out if there is a need for the business. It will also figure out the costs and inputs needed for the business, as well as the strategies and deadlines that should be put into place and met.
Insufficient capital. If you started a business and things aren't going well and you don't have much money and your business is struggling, it's not a good time to ask for another loan. If you are realistic at the start, you can plan to start with enough money to last you until your business is up and running and cash is flowing in.
Poor internet and wrong location. If your business depends on foot traffic, a bad location is easy to understand. But having a bad internet presence is just as dangerous. This is like advertising. You need to make sure that your marketing gets to people, but it also needs to get to the right people. So, make sure that the type of marketing you use is right for the people you want to reach.
No continuous improvement plan. Don't get too comfortable with your business once you've planned, set it up, and gotten some customers. It's possible that the need for your meeting won't always be there. Keep an eye on the market and figure out when you might have to change your business plan. If you stay on top of the most important trends, you'll have a lot of time to change, and always remember continuous improvement is the key to success.
Too fast business expansion. When a business grows too quickly and doesn't put the same care into research, strategy, and planning, the failing business can drain the company's finances and bring it to its knees.
Inadequate master planning. If you don't have a good business plan, you can't tell your team what you want them to do. Entrepreneurs who want to take their small businesses to the next level should have both a business plan and a business map. Your business map will help you handle important parts of the business cycle, like scaling. Explosive growth can be tempting, but one of the main reasons businesses fail is that they don't grow carefully. You need to find the right balance between growth and infrastructure.
Lack of customer service is one of the main reasons why businesses fail is that they fall in love with their product instead of their customers. To keep your business from failing, you need to love your customers and figure out how to meet all of their needs. Try to guess what they want and what they need, and if you can, try to figure out what they might need but not even know it yet. Make your customer a raving fan who will tell everyone about your company, product, or service. Once you realize that your customer's life is your business's life, you can start to think about how to succeed.
Human resources management mistakes. Getting the right people to work for you has a huge impact on almost every part of your business. One of the most obvious examples is sales. If you don't make enough money, you can't pay your team or yourself, and you can't grow. Sales go up when salespeople are sure of themselves. It's also amazing how many businesses fail because they don't know how to handle their inventory. This all decision can be made by experts, so if right people are choosing for the right job, this would avoid business failure.
Jack of all trades. You are an entrepreneur, but that doesn't mean you have to do everything by yourself. A business is only as strong as its leader's mind, and being able to let go and trust others is an important trait for a leader to have. If you need to be in charge of everything, you probably won't do well in the long run. Delegating is one of the most important skills for running a business well. It helps you manage your time, focuses your energy on what's most important, and lets you see who in your company might be a future leader.
Unwillingness to adjust. Entrepreneurs who fall in love with a service or product and refuse to change when the market demands it is likely to fail. In business and life, the key to long-term success is being flexible and willing to change direction when needed.
Lack of innovation and product development. Innovation and marketing are the two most important things for a business. Innovation means coming up with a better way than anyone else to meet your clients' needs. Anyone can make a little money for a while. But if you want to be successful and keep being successful for years and decades, if you want to build a brand, you have to find a way to add more value than anyone else in the game. And this comes from always trying new things.
Insufficient knowledge of your industry. This is one of the main reasons why businesses don't come up with new ideas. Some industries need more new ideas, while others may have longer or shorter product life cycles. Think about the tech business. The average product has a half-life of about 6 months. In some fields, like making apps, it's only 1 month. People want new ideas and improvements all the time, and if you don't give them what they want, someone else will. Today, we live in a different world where the only thing that stays the same is change. And if you don't keep moving forward, you fall behind.
Lack of fear of failure. One of the main fears of any business owner is that their business will fail. We wouldn't even be asking, why do businesses fail, if we didn't have that fear. But as you get better at being an entrepreneur and manager, you'll find that getting over your fear of business failure is one of the best things you can do to run a successful business. Without denying that your fears are real, you need to learn to see business failure as a chance to learn, not as something you can't get past. Don't forget that things happen for you, not to you.
Poor mental attitude. Our thoughts create our lives. What we think affects what we can do. When we, as business owners, use strategies to turn a business failure into a success, we change our feelings of defeat into feelings of power. And when we have the power to do something, a failing business is not the end of our story, it is just the beginning. Don't let your limiting beliefs disempower you. Instead, stay hungry for success as you try to get there. So positive mindset is necessary to bring change and progress.
Vision deficit. You shouldn't change your dreams to fit the economy. Instead, you should set and reach your own goals, no matter what. How can you make this happen? By realizing that loyalty to a vision is what makes a business work.
Passion deficiency. A passion-driven mindset lets you keep working on your ethics and beliefs and learn from all the reasons why businesses fail. By following your passions, you can see your situation clearly, both the good and bad parts. With this kind of focus, you can't be stopped from getting what you want. This way of thinking lets you take risks since you know that feelings of failure and doom aren't caused by your situation but by feeling stuck in the status quo. Don't get stuck.
Inadequate marketing techniques. No matter how big or small your business is, the next important step is marketing. Why do businesses fail to run well? If you can't find a way to market your product or service, it will be hard for your business to get started. Because the truth is, even if your product or service is the most innovative, it doesn't always win.
Incompetency in cash flow management. A business can fail because of bad cash flow management. Even a business that is making money can run into a crippling cash flow crisis. This is often caused by poor management of debtors, high stock levels, bad debt, and late invoicing. Your business can also fail if it doesn't have enough money or if you choose the wrong kind of money for it. Your business may not have the fuel it needs to grow if you don't have enough growth capital in the form of personal savings, private equity, or debt financing.
Loss of financial control. Any business owner needs to know where they stand financially and with their cash at all times. Accurately estimating your income and expenses may lead to a few surprises, but it will help your cash flow in the long run. The owner of a business should also understand and manage its costs, taking into account risks and opportunities. This should help keep unpleasant surprises to a minimum. Hiring an experienced accountant or spending money on a good cloud-based accounting solution can help you handle your finances more easily, so you can focus on running your business.
Poor planning and a lack of strategy. If you don't plan, you plan to fail, it's true. Simply put, any business that wants to succeed needs to plan for the long term. When planning for their business's growth, business owners need to do market research to find out who their customers are and what they want. They also need to know who their competitors are and are aware of trends so they don't fall behind. Just look at how many brick-and-mortar stores are struggling or have gone out of business because they didn't change fast enough when customer shopping habits changed.
Poor management. A good leader knows what skills they don't have or what jobs they don't have time to do and hires, outsources, or gets advice from a professional to fill those gaps. They will also talk to, direct, reward, and give their employees the chance to improve themselves. This will create a happy, productive, and loyal team. On the other hand, teams with bad leadership aren't motivated and don't work well, which can easily bring a business to its knees.
Excessive reliance on a few big clients. If you depend too much on a few big customers, your business could fail if one of them suddenly stops buying from you. Both cash flow and profit will be hurt in the end. Then, it might be tempting to offer discounts to that customer, but doing so will only hurt your margins in the long run.
We often ask our clients, where are you going to play and how are you going to win? In short, it's important to know where you stand in the market and how your customers buy things. Putting your best foot forward means answering questions about who your customers are and how much they are willing to spend.
Starting a company in a losing industry. Even the best ideas can't always be turned into a business that makes a lot of money. It's important to choose a business field that has steady growth. We all learned from the dot-com crash that you need cash flow to stay in business. To stay in business, you need more than a good idea and a lot of drive.
Misunderstanding in product communication. You must clearly define your value proposition. What do I bring to the table for my customer? Once you understand it, you should ask yourself if you can explain it well. Does what you say resonate with your audience?
Insufficiency of funds. Businesses need cash flow to keep going through sales cycles and the normal ups and downs of business. Many businesses fail because they run out of money and can't pay their bills. Cash is king, and most people find out quickly that it's hard to borrow money from lenders.
Know client strategy. Know how your customers can affect your business. Are you talking to them? Do you know what it is about you that they like or dislike? Understanding your customer inside and out can be a big part of how you come up with a strategy.
Managerial failure. Planning, organizing, controlling, directing, and communicating are all parts of managing a business. The most important rule of running a small business is to always know where you stand. A common problem for successful businesses is that they grow too fast for their managers to keep up.
Inability to provide real value. It doesn't matter what is going on. If you want to make money quickly or get rich quickly, you'll soon hit a dead end. Instead, you should focus on what the real value is. If you're not adding as much value as your competitors, you need to rethink your strategy.
Poor conversion rate optimization. Most business owners have so much to do that they forget to deal with the most important part of their business. No matter what a business does, it won't be able to stay in business when the money runs out if it doesn't optimize conversions. This is especially true if it raises money and spends it quickly. Deal with conversions early on to make sure that any money you spend on ads will be worth it. Then you'll know you have a business that can last.
Inability to construct a successful sales operations. The truth is that it's hard to sell anything to people who have never bought anything before. Sure, you can. You'll need proof that you already have and customer reviews to do it. But this will be much easier for big brands that have been around for a long time and are trusted than for new brands. The sales funnel will build that relationship with the customer, tell your story and journey, and sell the product or service at the same time. It's more of a soft sell that uses prose that adds real value. There is where the magic takes place.
Lack of honesty and authenticity. Businesses that aren't honest and true to themselves will fail. Even if it's not today or tomorrow, it will happen soon. Without knowing what the customer wants and needs and putting too much attention on the wrong things, a business could easily lose the trust of the customer. Instead of taking the chance that this will happen, focus on being real, honest, and finding ways to give more rather than take. It's a rare thing in business, but it's important if the business wants to last for a long time.
Unable to compete against market monopoly. Small businesses have a hard time staying in business when there is a lot of competition and a big target on their backs. This is especially true in lucrative markets where the stakes are high. If smaller businesses can't compete with bigger ones, they need to figure out how to change and stay in business. To do that, you need to be smart about business and have a lot of guts.
Fail to control expense and cost efficiency. When there's a lot of money, it's easy to spend it. But you must have a sharp mind to keep the company's costs under control. A lot of this has to do with how the founder handled money. Are they habits of rich people? Or do they cause harm? When costs get out of hand or a company's founder spends a lot of money on personal or useless things, the business can't stay in business.
Lack of a visionary and capable leader. Most businesses lack leadership that is both strategic and effective. Most people who start their own business for the first time have a hard time keeping up with all the demands put on them because they have no real business experience. When problems come up, which they do a lot, it's impossible to get through these murky waters. This is why businesses, no matter how big or small, need a board of experienced advisors, and founders need to find mentors they can trust if they want their business to last.
Inability to develop a positive worker relationship. For long-term success, your tribe and the culture of employees are very important. Most businesses fail because their owners don't care about their workers. When executives and employees start to see it as us against them, things start to go downhill. This might not happen all at once. It might not happen for years. But it does happen. And when the chance comes up, the best workers jump ship to go somewhere they'll be valued more.
Failing to set up the correct business systems. Sales funnels aren't the only type of automation you need to run a successful, long-term business. Other business systems need to be set up. CRMs and ERP must be set up and personalized. There needs to be a set of rules. Financial audits and ways to keep track of money need to be made. Without a lot of systems and automation, the amount of work can be too much, and it's easy to miss important details.
Lack of research and development. One of the most common reasons why new businesses fail is that their product or service doesn't fill a need in the market. So, one of the most important first steps you need to take when starting a business is to research everything from the current market to current and future trends in your industry to who your competitors are, who your target audience is, and what will make them want to do business with you.
Lacking a solid business strategy. A good business plan with an execution strategy can help you figure out where your business is going, find strategies and an action plan to help you reach your business goals, and get the money you need to start or grow your business. Writing a business plan is an important step in starting a new business and reaching your business goals. On the other hand, if you don't have a plan, your business could fail because of poor management, which is one of the main reasons small businesses fail.
Insufficient financial resources. Many small business owners fall into the trap of not having enough money or not knowing how much it costs to start up and run a business. And the truth is that not all small business owners have enough money to cover the costs of starting a new business. Talking to a small business banking expert will help you figure out what kind of financial help you might need, such as a business loan, financing for equipment, or information about how the government helps small business owners.
Financial mismanagement. As a small business owner, it can be a disaster if you don't know how to manage your cash flow or keep up with all your financial responsibilities. If you don't have the money you need to start your business, that's bad enough. Cash management must be a top priority for small business owners because if your cash flow doesn't balance out, you'll be in trouble fast. You want to avoid that business risk at all costs.
Failure to stay ahead of the competition and customer needs. If you want to build a loyal customer base, you need to know who your target customers are and how to reach them. But it's also very important to have ways to keep track of what your customers want. If you don't know what your customers want from you, which you can find out through customer feedback surveys, reading and responding to comments on your business's social media pages, and just talking to your customers, you could lose those loyal customers to your competitors.
Refusal to change. As in life, things don't always go as planned in a small business. Whether it's dealing with changing trends in your industry, unplanned events, the effects of broader economic issues like changes to interest rates, government assistance, and support, or even changes in your situation, your business will face challenges along the way. To stay in business, you may need to move away from the wrong product or service, a bad hire, or a bad business decision. In this situation, the most important thing is to know what is going on inside and outside of your business and be ready to act quickly.
Inadequate personnel selection and retention. One of the hardest things for small business owners to do is to find, manage, and keep good employees. Setting up a diverse team from the beginning with skills that complement each other, the right attitude, and values that fit with your business will help you in the long run. It's very important to not only get the right people to work for you but also to give them a place to work where they want to stay.
Lack of a business plan. A business plan makes you figure out your unique value proposition, which is what makes your project different from similar ones. How will your food truck stand out in a parking lot full of food trucks? Is it what they eat? What is it? Is it the truck's bright colors and holiday decorations? Is it the daily ads on social media? It's probably all of the above. To keep a business model that works, you need to stand out from your competitors.
Lack of knowledge of customer behavior. Because our society is so focused on technology, it's easier than ever for customers to share their thoughts and opinions about the businesses they work with. It's also easier than ever for business owners to keep track of customer feedback and ask for it.
Mismanagement of supply chain operations. Your new business won't do well if you don't keep track of your inventory well. The Small Business Administration, SBA, says that inventory problems are one of the main reasons why new businesses fail. Inventory shortages and overages are often caused by bad management. These are silent cash flow killers.
Poor growth. Most of the time, in business, slow and steady wins. If you try to grow your business too quickly, which usually means getting a small business loan, it can go wrong if the market changes or you hit a rough patch. Trying to take on more work than you can handle uses up your working capital and usually causes the quality of your work to go down. You are too busy, which hurts your product or service.
Data scarcity. Even though your market is much smaller, you still need to learn as much as you can. If you can't see how your business is doing in real time, you won't be able to make smart, data-driven decisions as well as you could. As a business owner, you need to know how much of your income you can spend on employee wages, utility bills, or rent. This will help you set the right goals for saving money. You want your business's income to grow from month to month or year to year.
Not knowing the market. As a business that is growing, you need to know your target market and what they want. You also need to know and plan for your competition. Gathering and analyzing information about the market will help you stay on top of your game and not fall off the radar. If it's a choke race, you want to pass your competitors as quickly as possible.
Corruption. A business that doesn't feel real will go down fast. Being open and honest in business and knowing what your customers want to go hand in hand. Even if you're the best new business of the week, that doesn't mean you'll always be the best. You will always be rowing against higher tides if you don't pay attention to what your market wants and don't always give them quality products and services.
The wrong reasons to start a business. Most of the time, a business fails because of the reason its owner started it. Is making a lot of money the main reason you want to start your own business? Do you think you'd spend more time with your family if you run your own business? Or maybe so you wouldn't have to answer to anyone else. Even though some successful business owners get these benefits after years of hard work, they are not reasons to start a business.
Insufficient market size. Even the best business ideas will fail if there is no market for what you sell or if the market suddenly disappears because of economic changes or natural disasters. Even though you can't predict disasters, you should find out if there's a market for what you want to sell and if that market is big enough to make money. Remember, everyone is not a market. The market needs to be a specific group of customers that you can reach with the money and resources you have for marketing.
Failed leadership. Your business could fail if you don't know how to run it well, which can show up in many ways. You will have trouble as a leader if you don't have enough experience making management decisions, supervising a staff, or having the vision to lead your organization.
Lacking uniqueness and value. Even if you have a great product or service that people want a lot of, your business may still be failing. It could be that your approach isn't very good or that you don't have a good value proposition. If there's a lot of demand, it's likely that you have a lot of competitors and don't stand out.
Unaware of customer requirements. Your business will fail if you don't keep in touch with your customers and try to figure out what they want and what they think about what you're doing. Your customers may like your product or service, but they might like it even more if you change this part or that step. What do they want to tell you? Have you been listening? Is the market going down? Do they even still want what you have to sell?
Lack of focus on team building. Many new business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs don't realize how important it is to build a strong team, especially in the beginning when the business is just getting started. They often think they can do it all on their own, which might be because it's cheaper. Building a strong, skilled team is important for a business's success, and it's especially important when a business is young.
Poor organizational behavior. One of the main reasons why new businesses don't grow is because they aren't run well. Most new business owners take on the role of a manager because they are in charge of running the business at first. However, they often find it hard to lead. So, you can get by with good management even if you're not a good leader, but if you're bad at both, it's a big problem.
Lack of experience. Every business has a set of circumstances in which it has to work. A company's internal resources need to match the needs of the environment it serves. If you haven't worked in the field long enough, you won't know how to organize your company and its resources well. The structure of the industry in which the business operates has a big impact on how well the business does.
Cash flow insufficiency. Cash flow is a measure of a company's ability to keep enough money on hand to pay for the costs of doing business every day. Many small businesses fail because their owners can't figure out how much money will come in each month and how much they can spend. An entrepreneur needs to know at least the basics of accounting and be able to make cash flow projections. This will help them figure out how much money they can spend each month.
Poor corporate planning. In the United States, 9 out of 10 businesses that fail do so because they don't have enough general business management skills and planning. A good business plan helps a business figure out its goals, costs, market, outside influences, and strengths and weaknesses.
Unrealistic goals. Setting goals is one thing, but setting goals that can be reached is another. Uncertainty is a major factor in everything an entrepreneur does. It's important to set realistic goals, while still being optimistic and taking some risks.
No unique value. Having a great product is not enough. You also need to come up with something that makes your business stand out from the rest. How does your business stand out from the rest? What makes your business unique? You should figure out what your competitors do better than you. If you don't stand out, you won't be able to build a brand.
Lack of learning from experience. Everyone knows that failure is usually bad, but businesses rarely learn from it. In reality, there are many reasons why businesses fail. Entrepreneurs often don't see where they went wrong. It's hard to learn from mistakes.
Profitability gap. Profit is not the same thing as income. As a business owner, you should always keep your eye on making money. Profit makes it possible to grow. Small Business Trends says that only 40% of small businesses make money, that 30% break even, and that 30% lose money.
Mismanagement of funds. Use the services of an accountant. Keep track of all your financial records and always make decisions based on the information you get from real data. Always know where you stand. If you're not good with numbers, you can hire a financial expert to teach you at least the basics.
Role of macroeconomic factors. Entrepreneurs can't control macroeconomic factors. Business cycles, wars, natural disasters, government debt, inflation, and business cycles are all examples of macroeconomic factors.
Too much money put into fixed assets. Every business has costs that come up right away. But too much investment early on can be a bad idea. Think about whether you need these things. If you are just starting, you might be able to lease or buy used equipment instead of buying new. You can avoid this problem by keeping startup costs low and cash flow high.
Low sales revenue. Keeping sales steady is a big part of a growing business's ability to be successful. Low sales can happen if you keep a sales team that doesn't do its job well, if your products and services aren't good enough, or if you price them too high, if you don't know much about buying trends, or if you misjudge the competition. To make more sales and money, business owners need to be ready to change their plans.
You are beautiful, and beautiful people always like, share and subscribe. Thank you.